Hey everybody, Reverend Carl here. Once again, thanking you for tuning into the YouTube channel here. I sure do appreciate it, and it's always good to say something, and hopefully help some of you out if I can. That's really the best reward. But I wanted to talk to you today this time about wisdom. Wisdom, that's it. And I know that a lot of us, myself included, we've had all these moments in our lives when we were pretty wise about some things, you know. Sometimes wisdom just kind of spills out of our mouth and people think we're really wise about something. And how did that happen? How did we get to that point of being so darn wise in that moment? What happened? Well, the key to wisdom, attaining wisdom, is you can look at it through prayer to God. Always pray to God for wisdom. Or, if that's not really your thing at this time, just simply be open to what the real right answer would be. It's a matter of admitting that, gee whiz, with my brain and all my life experience and everything that I know and everything that I've learned in school and the way that I can figure stuff out, I still don't know how to fix this, whatever it is. Doesn't matter if you're talking about a relationship or a conflict that you're having with somebody, or you've got an issue at work, you have a problem to work through, you're trying to fix your car, whatever, When you stop and think, when everything else has failed, and I suggest you actually do this first before you get to the frustration point of everything failing, okay? But pause for a little bit and completely admit to yourself, I don't really know what's going on. I really don't know how to fix this. Even with everything that I know and I've experienced in my life, I hate to admit it, but I just don't know. Seriously, I really don't know what's going on here, what can be done. And when you can admit that to yourself, you open yourself up to the powers that be. I call it God, you can call it whatever you want, but you open yourself up to these higher abilities that come through and can provide you with option number 3. You've always thought you perhaps could only do this or that, and then wisdom is actually like option number 3 that comes down. And it's a brilliant idea. You're inspired. Hey, I think that'll work. Sounds kind of crazy, but it just might work. That's wisdom, folks. And sure enough, when you really do that and you follow what you've heard, what you've been inspired with, that's when the thing works out. That's when this happens. And that's wisdom in action. And it's all because you've put aside everything about your brain, your ego, your mind, everything that you think of yourself that makes you so learned and so knowledgeable and whatnot. And if that stuff doesn't work, what's left? Well, it's not hopeless. It's not a hopeless case. You just come into that point of saying, look, I am out of ideas. What's the answer? What's the third side of the coin, you might say? What am I missing here? What's going on? And so when you open yourself up to that by admitting that what you see, think, feel, hear, understand, learn, whatever, isn't the answer is in wisdom. So you open yourself up to it, and it comes to you. Doesn't matter how you say it, if you pray, if you don't. Open up to it. And I'll tell you something else, is that if you were to look up on Google, for example, and you were to Google Bible verses that have to do with wisdom, you would find hundreds would come up. And an awful lot of those hundreds would be in the book of Proverbs in the Old Testament. In fact, that book of Proverbs is actually so chock full of wisdom, I dare you almost to try and read that entire book of Proverbs and absorb all that wisdom within one day. There's a lot in there. So I want to read from Proverbs for you here. This is actually chapter 11 in Proverbs, and it's just verse 2. It's really simple, but take this to heart. Where he says, so when pride comes, then comes disgrace. Know what I mean? But with humility comes wisdom. So when you have that humility, when you're humble enough to say, I don't know what's going on, I don't have the answer, I've tried everything, what is it? I seriously am dumbfounded. not too long before inspiration comes in and gives you that strange little third possibility. And that's when wisdom hits you. Then you can be wise. You can apply that to generally everything in life. With humility comes wisdom. That's it for today, folks. I sure appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, God bless you. And of course, be wise.